Hi there, welcome back to Jane Catherine on Books. It's Catherine here, and here we are with Non-Fiction November, my TBR. So this is a TBR, not a TBR, what I was going to say, a tag. The Non-Fiction November was started by Olive and Gemma, and I'll put their links down below. And without further ado, here's my list. So there are 4 categories that we've got this year. We've got new, we've got controversial, we've got important, and we've got fascinating. So I've got some what I think some cracking reads in those 4 categories. So first of all, I'm going to start with, I hope you can see this on my Kindle, this is Dead Mountain, and this is by Donny HR. And this is a buddy read that I'm doing for Non-Fiction November with a group of my friends from the States, and I'll link their channels down below. And this is, it's new to me, something that I'm interested in. And basically it's the untold true story of the Dyatlov, that takes some saying, the Dyatlov Pass incident in Russia, whereby Dyatlov and his fellow climbers suddenly went missing without trace, and they couldn't find the bodies or what happened to them. It's as if they left in rather a hurry. And this is about 50 odd years ago. And I think it's about 2010 that people went to see if they could investigate further, and that's what this book's about. So yes, really interested in that one. The next one that I've got for my new is How to Read Water by Tristan Gooley. You've probably seen that. I've put that on a recent book haul. Now, I have started reading this. It's one of those that you can dip in and out of. Really interesting. I'm fascinated by this. As I've probably said before, I live near the sea. Water is, I find very interesting, the waves and patterns and all sorts. So yeah, can't wait to get through to that one. So next, controversial. I've got 3 for this. One that I've already sort of dipped in and out of, but I'm going to, you know, do a bit more with this. And this is called The Medical Medium. This is Anthony William. Now, The Medical Medium, I'm not so sure as if he is as well known in the UK as he is in the States. He has quite a big following over there. I actually have a client of mine that in the next week or so is taking her parents over to America to specially see him. So I'm really excited for her, should I say, to come back and let me know how all that went. I put it in the controversial category because basically it is obviously about clairvoyance, spirituality, people that are mediums. Not everybody's cup of tea, not everybody believes, so it's somewhat controversial. And it's even more controversial, I feel, because he's shown case studies in here of actually treating people's physical and psychological conditions with faith healing, for want of a better word for it. Very controversial subject, perhaps. Fascinates me. Next one that I've got here is I Met a Monk. This is by Rose Elliott. Got this from the library. This is another one that perhaps could be a little bit controversial. I'm very interested into looking into different faiths, different ways that people conduct their lives with positivity, and I'm actually a qualified meditation teacher, so it's something that I am interested in, to look at the different cultures and what they do. So this is actually a famous cookery writer is Rose Elliott, and this is about she met a monk, and all about what happened there, and a journey that she actually went on. It's 8 weeks to happiness, freedom and peace. Yes, so I'm going to have a go at that. Next one in this category, I've got 3 because I couldn't resist. This is called Call Me Elizabeth. Now again, this has been on a recent book haul. Wife, mother, escort, and so it's a memoir. And this Dawn Annandale was struggling with major debts. She was in a marriage that was falling apart, on the verge of divorce, and she got 6 children that, you know, she needed to clothe and feed and do her very best for. And the only way that she felt that she could find the money to get them out of this mess was to actually go and work as an escort. And obviously some people were wanting a little bit more than just escorting, you know, to a nice restaurant or whatever. I've already started this, and I think it's going to be an amazing read. Controversial, because obviously we're looking at things like prostitution. We're looking at, in a way, I feel that what some of us as mothers feel that we have no choice but to do the very best by our children. Not everybody agree that this is the way to do it, but yeah, very fascinating, that. So the next one, important. I've got 2 on this list. The first one is A Country of Refuge. This is quite a recent one. There's been quite a bit about this on the BookTube. This is edited by Lucy Popescu, and this is an anthology of writing on asylum seekers, various different stories about what people in real life are going through in war and other difficult times in their country of origin. So I think this is something very important that we need to have this knowledge about. I don't think we should just say, oh, we're okay here, we're all right in our country, you know, because you think there for the grace of God go I. So yes, very important. Now, the next one, it's perhaps not very familiar to most. This is The Harvest of Messerschmitt. And this is A Chronicle of a Village at War, 1940. It's by Dennis Knight. Now, I just must show you the dust jacket because I love it. I don't know if you can, I don't know if we can see that. I just think it's an amazing dust jacket. I'm really drawn to it. Now, this is one of my husband's. My husband reads mainly non-fiction, is an avid non-fiction reader, and this is very interesting because we've actually been to this village, not that far away from the Dover coast in the UK, and we have been there. We've had a tour around. It was something that my husband, having read the book, was interested to go, and it's all about this particular village. And through the war, the Messerschmitts are the German planes, I believe, of that time, and the war really had a big impact on this village because it was so close to the coast. There's some fascinating stories, fascinating accounts in there, so I'm going to see how we go. I've not read it yet, and because I've been to the village itself, that sort of makes it more relevant, I think. So they're the 2 for important. And then for fascinating, it might not be that fascinating to some people, but travel, things to do with travel, books and adventures, I find them very interesting, especially historical. And this is something that's come from a recent book haul again, so it could fit into the new. And it's the Stanford's Travel Classics, and this is Robert Louis Stevenson, who wrote Treasure Island. It's his travels through France on a donkey. Now, France is quite a favourite of ours. We have travelled quite a lot through France, and I'd be very interested to see what it'd be like travelling through France on a donkey. I've never done it on a donkey. Oh, that sounds awful. Sorry. Probably nobody else is thinking anything of that. Yes, I'd be interested to know, because sometimes I think we go on these holidays and we often go by car. We have travelled around France by train, but sometimes that mode of transport's so fast you don't always, you know, see the countryside, and you often miss things. So I'm really fascinated to see what happened in that era. And then finally, for my fascinating, is The Blue Door. Now, this is by Lise Christensen. This is a little girl's incredible story of survival in a Japanese prisoner of war camp in Java. This is the read that that I'm doing with people that have subscribed to Eleanor Reads Books. She's got a lovely book buddy read service that she started on Etsy. This is the second one that we've had, and it is a lovely service. She puts all sorts of little bits and bobs inside, little notes, little photographs or recipes, all sorts of things. But I'm really fascinated to read this journey. It also, I feel, is important. You know, it's important that we read of things that happened in that era. I haven't started this yet, I'm about to. But yes, I think this is going to be an amazing choice. So there we go. That's my read for November, my non-fiction November. And I'll put all the links below for everybody that I'm buddy reading with, and the originators, Gemma and Olive. And I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.